everyone, and welcome to this video tutorial. So in this one I'm just going to show you a simple way to paint black armor on this Primaris Intercessor. It's going to have a slight kind of dirty feel with a bit of weathering and chipping on it. So to begin with, I've just primed the model black using Chaos Black Spray, and I've went over that with Vallejo Black, Model Air Black. You don't have to do that. It was just because I didn't get a nice clean prime coat on it. Sometimes you just need to clean it up a little bit, so I've just gone over the whole model with the Model Air Black. So to begin with, I'm just going to start applying some initial highlights to the model, just to kind of start defining the shape of the armor, and just establish the highlights. So I'm working with my airbrush, and I'm using Ash and Grey, and so for that I'm just kind of focusing in on the higher areas, just trying to apply this Ash and Grey to the areas that are seeing the most light, and it starts to help just define the armor on the top of their head. And I'm being very reserved with the amount of paint that I'm applying. I'm just very lightly applying into areas. I'm getting in quite close, and I'm still allowing some of that black to show through, and it's just creating a nice soft gradient. You can even angle the model and kind of emulate the light falling on the model just by the direction that you're holding it. Alright, so for the next step, what I wanted to do is just tone down those highlights just a little bit, and apply kind of a filter over the top of this just to give it a bit of a dirty feel. That's where we're going to bring in the dirty feel, and just start to kind of harmonize everything a little bit more. So what I've done is I've mixed 3 parts wildwood and 1 part black Templar, the contrast paints, and I've thinned them right down until they're kind of similar consistency to the Citadel shade paints. So you could just use Agrax Earthshade mixed with Nuln Oil for this. I just like the flexibility of being able to thin them down a little bit myself with the contrast paints, which are a bit more concentrated. So what I'm going to do is just start spraying that with the airbrush over the whole model. Alright, so the next step is to start applying some edge highlighting with the paintbrush. So I'm using Mechanicus Standard Grey, and just applying that to the edges. Usually when I'm doing stuff for tabletop, which is what these guys are for, I don't worry about applying it to every single edge. It's just a matter of picking out the most important ones, and that's kind of a matter of looking at, again, how the light's falling on the model, picking out the edges which are catching the most light, and being sort of a bit more selective in how you're applying them. just to kind of save time. If you're batch painting a whole bunch of these guys, then you don't want to be highlighting absolutely every edge. Alright, so next step we're applying some Dawnstone as some further highlights. So for this we're just applying it to some of the extreme areas, corners, and at the very tops of those edges that we've already applied. Things like this. So at this stage we can start applying some of this weathered look. So instead of applying just a straight edge highlight along the top of this knee, for instance, you can see I'm just applying it in more of a kind of broken up kind of sense, and that gives it a little bit of an illusion of the weathering that we're going to achieve. Instead of just creating a nice clean straight line, breaking it up like that just helps to make it look like it's damaged. It's not so neat and clean. And then we're also applying, just with the tip of the brush, applying some weathering across the surface of the armor as well. So yeah, as you can see, just applying it to the tops of things, of the little components of the armor, just being quite random with applying scratches and little chips and things. If you've seen some of my other weathered armor kind of videos in the past, you'll know that I've emphasized in those videos that being random is key to getting it to look natural. So yeah, so that's the next step, and I'm just going to apply that to the rest of the model. Alright, and there you have it. So nice simple little way just to paint simple black armor with a little bit of weathering on it. It's got a slight dirty kind of look to it, and it would be really easy to replicate across a bunch of models for the tabletop. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. If you're a patron, thank you so much for your continued support, and look out for the next video. Thank you so much to all my patrons. It's your much valued support that makes it possible for me to keep making these videos. If you'd like to continue seeing these tutorials on YouTube, please consider supporting me on my Patreon. You'll gain access to a bunch of exclusive tutorials, among other patron benefits such as our Discord channel and patron-only Facebook page. The link below will take you to my Patreon page where you can sign up. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.